Have you ever walked into a meeting, presentation, and exactly knew what to speak? But when you started speaking, you suddenly spoke really faster. Every sentence ended up in a high. And not only that, you ended up sounding less confident than you actually were. And when you came out of that meeting, you asked yourself that why did I say that? If you've experienced this, you're not wrong. You don't have to suddenly become this outgoing, charismatic person. You just need to adopt few simple habits that can make your communication look better. It will make you sound more confident. Not only that, it make you sound more confident to the person who is listening to you. Today, I'm sharing 5 of them, and I want you to use one of those when you enter your next meeting. Hi, my name is Rupali, and I help young people, professionals, and leaders to master communication. If you want to master communication, you are at the right place. Let's get started. Let's start with our first habit, slow down. This sounds very simple, but it's actually a very helpful tool. But when we are nervous, our brain tends to work very quicker. And not just that, it is doing multiple jobs at one time because then you're monitoring yourself. You're trying to sound confident, you're trying to sound intelligent, you're asking yourself that am I looking right? Are they going to judge me? And in all that chaos, you start speaking faster, right? Because your brain as well as your mouth cannot catch up. So now in that moment, what do? Slow down. Now, you don't have to slow down for the entire conversation. Just slow down your first sentence. That's all. Your brain needs to feel that I'm not in danger anymore. And once it feels that, you will settle down in the conversation. Our habit number 2, stop ending every statement like a question. Now, this one is really subtle because most people don't even realize it when they are doing it. Listen to the difference. I think we can send the proposal tomorrow. Now, listen to this. I think we should send the proposal tomorrow. These are same exact words, but the landing is completely different. The first one sounds like a question, as if it's asking for an approval, whereas the second one sounds like it's a statement, an assertive statement. And that's what makes the whole difference. Now, I want to clarify one thing. I have no problem using rising intonation. We must use that, but only when we are asking a genuine question, not everywhere. Most of the times, this is the problem that we face, that every statement ends up in the rising intonation, which is not required. So if you have a recommendation, make it sound like recommendation. And that is assertive communication. Speaking and expressing without shrinking yourself. Speaking and expressing without being aggressive. Our habit number 3, pause without feeling awkward. I love this technique, the pause. But some speakers actually feel awkward when there is silence. They feel that something is going wrong. Imagine an interviewer asking you a question and you feel the pressure of suddenly jumping in and answering it. Well, that makes you look incompetent. Imagine the interviewer asks you a question. Tell me about a difficult phase that you handled at work. Now you feel the pressure to answer that instantly, and then you start to give all the wrong answers. You don't really have an answer at that point of time, but you just don't want to take a pause and you don't want to sound less competent. That's why you just suddenly jump in and start speaking all kind of answers. Yes, so actually there was a situation and this is what I have tried to do it, and so on. Did you just see? When you don't think about the response, you actually don't know what you're trying to say. A thoughtful response is better than a rushed response. Instead of jumping right into answer, acknowledge that question and simply say, that's a wonderful question. Let me think over it and give you the best example. There might be another professional setting where somebody asks you unexpected. So try and tell them, let me think about it for a second. These are the ways in which you don't instantly pressurize yourself to answer. You take a thoughtful pause, and therein you give your brain some time to catch up with your mouth. And then the response that comes up is quite thoughtful and is valuable. So always remember, silence never obstructs communication. It gives you authority in communication. Our habit number 4, stop apologizing before you speak. I have heard this multiple times. Whenever somebody comes up with a thought in meetings, they would try to say something like this. I'm sorry, I have a question. I'm so sorry, I just think this can be done otherwise. Do you just see that you're trying to say sorry for your thoughts? You're trying to say sorry for your presence. Did you just see that before even you told your opinion, you have asked the listener to not judge you harshly? But you don't need to do that. Instead of saying, sorry, I just wanted to add something, simply say, I have a thought to add. Instead of saying, sorry, I just came late, thank you so much for waiting for me. Instead of saying, it might be a stupid question, just say, I have a question. You're not becoming rude. You're just removing apology before your communication. This works really well for people who are trying to be confident in their workplace. You don't have to apologize for taking up conversational space. Both the things can coexist. Habit number 5. Stop over explaining yourself. Sometimes nervousness doesn't let us speak less, it actually makes us speak more. And then we start to explain, and then we give another point, another reason, and then we think that they didn't understand. And then we try to explain, and then we explain why we are explaining, and then suddenly we feel the urge to explain it one more time. I am tired, aren't you? Here's a very simple rule I want you to remember. Make your point, give a reason, stop. Instead of saying, I was actually thinking we may push the deadline for 2 days because I think the testing is not done, and maybe the team will also get a few more days, and there are other things that we can still take care of. Just simply say, I recommend pushing the deadline for next 2 days. The testing isn't done yet. And stop. Let the other person speak. You don't have to fill every silence with more evidence to make sure that your idea deserves to exist. And that's what makes confident communication even more interesting. Sometimes confidence is about being comfortable about what you say and what you mean, and then letting your words sit there. So, we discussed 5 habits that we need to adopt to become confident communicators. But there's a bigger lesson that I want you to take. When you start speaking, you start asking yourself, your focus turns inward. You start asking yourself, am I actually sounding confident? Am I feeling nervous? Are people judging me? Shift that focus outward. The next time when you speak, ask yourself, what is that value that they are getting? How my answer is going to help this person? And that is the time when your communication shift would arrive. The moment you think of the value that you're providing to the person, the entire shift begins. Your anxiety will drop and your nervousness will go away. You don't have to be the loudest person in the room. You don't have to have perfect English. You can be introverted and still speak better. And that is the beauty of communication. And that to me is real communication. If this video really helped you, consider liking and subscribing my channel, Speak with Rupali, and sharing it with your friends who really need it. We come here every week to talk about practical communication tips. I will see you in the next video.